That ad cost me $0 with 0 cameras and just one single photo. And this is the photo. One flat product shot. That was the whole input, and everything that you just watched came out of it in just a browser tab in about 20 minutes. And it did not stop at just one single ad. We have 18 finished variations with different hooks, different formats, and the same brand with the same can and same look. And that's the part that actually matters, and I'll show you exactly how I build it. The model is Seedance 2.5 and you run it in CapCut Web Video Studio. And the reason that combination matters is that generating clips was never the hard part, but keeping them consistent, and then the actual editing was. And here's what every single AI video tool does to you. And if you've tried this, you know the feeling. You first generate a clip and it's pretty good, and you then generate another one and the face has completely changed. The lighting has changed, the label seems a bit wrong, and so you go ahead and generate another one and the whole clip comes back way different, including the 2 seconds that you actually liked. Then you have to export the good ones, open an editor and re-import everything and hand fix captions on 20 clips. And that's the real cost and not generating. Seedance 2.5 inside CapCut Video Studio collapses all of that into just one single place. So we have video generation, storyboarding and export. Okay, so here is the plan. Step 1, we'll basically build a custom skill so the model permanently remembers the brand. 2, we have one photo on the canvas and I'm just letting it write the brief and the storyboard. 3, we generate a full 30-second spot in a single pass. And 4, fix one bad sequence without regenerating anything else. And last one, 5, we have finished all 18 versions on the timeline and then export. All done inside the browser. So let's go ahead with step 1. So in the video studio in CapCut Web, again the link's gonna be down in the description. Before I generate a single clip, I have to go into skills and set the model to Seedance 2.5. So basically this one right here. So on anything else, none of this behaves the same. Now a skill is a long-term memory for your own brand, so just set it once and it will remember. So just upload your references, product, shot, logo, 2 frames of the look that you want, and then just talk to it. So you have warm morning light, shallow depth of field, cream and brown, label always faces the camera, copy under 4 words, and that's not a prompt I have to retype, and it's basically a rule that it keeps always. Now for the brand assets, character settings, visuals, product details and context structure, all of that is saved into one reusable skill. So once you've done that, in the next project, next campaign, you just call the same skill and it already knows everything. So we have the same prompt twice. On the left, it's the one with no skill, and on the right is the one with my skill. And just take a look at the can, you can clearly see the difference. So if you make content for a client, a product, or even a series with a recurring character, you need to build the skill first because it pays for itself on the second video. It saves a lot of time. Now step 2, we have giving it the photo and basically nothing else. So this is the infinite canvas and I like it more than I actually expected. My upload sits on one side and everything that the AI produces sits right next to them. So you have scripts, images, clips, links, briefs, storyboards are all laid out as cards, so you can clearly see how the idea actually connects, and it's not like a folder tree, but it's actually a whole wall. And with one image and just one sentence, we have a 30-second cold brew ad with morning routine, calm, and that's basically the entire input. And it writes the brief, then turns the brief into a storyboard, shot by shot, framing described for every single one of them. And that normally takes a person a day to do, and right now it's a card on the canvas and you can edit any of that before a single frame generates. So for example, if you do not like a shot, you can just rewrite it, the text, change it before you spend on the generation. Now we're going on to the step 3, so basically generating, and here's where Seedance 2.5 does something that the last generation could not. It generates a native 30-second video in just one single pass and not 5-6 clips that are stitched together. So this one is a one continuous generation with the scene transitions already made in. So if you have already stitched a clips before, you know the scenes, the cut, where the lighting jumps a little bit, the frame changes a little bit, and generating the whole thing in just one pass is how that actually stops. And the other number, it takes up to 50 references assets at once, which is pretty crazy. That also includes multi-angle images, style frames, and even audio references. So yes, that's 50 images, clips, style frames, character sheets, and it understands it and it basically compiles it all together in just one single generation. There's also a white model control, so you feed it a 3D gray box render and it logs the camera path and poses, then renders the finished shot on top. So if you're doing a previs, that's your feature. But right now I'm staying on the ad workflow. And step 4, my favorite thing, the whole release. So for example, second 6 is wrong and the background's a little bit too busy, it's pulling attention away from the cam, while everything else seems fine. And in every tool that I have used, everything else is fine, does not matter, because once you generate, you lose it all. Now you can actually direct a 30-second scene so the story flows exactly how you want it. So just tell the model when inside the prompt. So for example, you timestamp it 0 to 4 seconds, set a scene, 4 to 8, character enters and takes action, 8 to 30, high impact product close up, and this is how you write the instruction. Now 0 to 4, it's basically the setup, 4 to 8, the movement, 8 to 30, the payoff, and that's a timestamp based storyline control with Seedance 2.5. And you're no longer rolling the dice with a random AA timing, and you're actually scripting a precise story arc, camera movement, and even a character action in just one single generation. So instead of a clip where everything happens at once, timestamp prompting gives you a professional dictatorial control over your visual pacing directly inside CapCut Web. Step 5, everything so far was generation, and right now it's editing. So the half of CapCut Web that most people actually forget. So we have a multi-track timeline in the same tab, nothing exported, nothing re-imported. The clips that I have just generated are already on it. And also the library isn't small, you have 45 plus visual styles, 300 plus voices, 500 plus avatars, 200 plus subtitle styles, and even a music library that you can choose from. So quick one before I wrap this up, because this isn't only an ad tool, you have the same workflow, same story instead of just a product. While you build a skill for your characters and your look, you generate a 30-second narrative scene and use timestamp control in order to help you when generating all of the clips. And that's genuinely a different way to make short films, and the consistency is why this actually works. It also got noticeably better at other languages, so you can prompt it in Spanish or Portuguese, and you can even get a clean native subtitles and natural voiceover, and it's not that kind of not translating soundish mush that you hear with AI generators. What generally changed is the skill system. So because consistency was the actual blocker and the bottleneck, the native 30-second ad generation, because as you guys know, stitching was not the case, with the skill system, it's a game changer. And what you have to keep in mind is that it's a browser workflow, so give it a decent connection, and the first skill that you actually build is definitely worth your time. Links going to be down in the description, also in the first line in the comment section. Free to start, try it for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.